Hello. It's been a bit since we've had anything. Mr. Chunk was sick for a bit, then I was sick, and now it's like 90 billion and a half degrees, and it just rains nonstop. So, yeah, we haven't been super motivated, but we got something for you today. This is our top 10 superheroes, each of us. So it's 20 superheroes. Following this, at some point, we'll do our top 10 supervillains, and then our top 10 comic book characters who are not super. I mean, they're super, but in a different way, as you know. Okay. So I'm going to start, and Sir Chunk doesn't remember who he picked.
Correct.
So we're going to...
I'll have to be reminded of my own list as we go through here.
Right, so this will be fun. So my number 10 is Martian Manhunter. I don't know a lot about Martian Manhunter. I just think he's cool. He was in Sandman. I don't read a lot of superhero books, I'll be honest, and you'll notice that I have a very strong DC lean, partially because a lot of these characters were introduced to me at some point when I used to read Sandman, and then over time, like, I picked up Swamp Thing, and then some of the Justice League Dark kind of stuff. So Martian Manhunter I just think is cool, because he's green and cool and interesting, and I like his cape.
And his name is John Johns, so that's a thing.
Yeah, we don't have his first appearance, unfortunately, because it's $9.7 billion. So
it's a little pricey.
Yeah. So Sir Chunk's number 10 is Yellowjacket.
Oh, yeah, Yellowjacket. I like that dude. You might recognize him as kind of a crappy, not quite right version of him from the Ant-Man movies. But I like he's my favorite of the Hank Pym personas. He's got the coolest powers, the best outfit, and he's the most evil. Yeah, bit of an alcoholic.
Didn't he beat his wife?
Yes, bit of a spousal abuser. But other than that, a very cool character.
We'll just skip that part.
Great outfit, too. I mean, he just looks like a really cool, a yellow jacket. Like,
do you have his first
he's like a bee.
Or is that another really expensive one?
Yeah, no, it's like, I don't have the first Hank Pym appearance, but the first Yellowjacket is like Avengers, like 57 or something like that. I forget
so you have all
that.
the Avengers.
But yeah, I don't have the first Hank Pym, which is like Tales to Astonish 28.
Oh, that's that cool one with like the anthill on it, right?
That's the first Ant-Man, I believe, but I think that's still the second or third Hank Pym. Anyway, I like Yellowjacket, even though he's kind of a jerk.
Okay, so then I picked Man-Thing for number 9 because basically he's Swamp Thing. And I was like, I have a lot of DC, so I'll shake it up a bit. So I went with Man-Thing. Man-Thing was really cool in the Werewolf by Night sort of Halloween special on Disney Plus. So I liked him in that too. He was pretty fun. But basically I just wanted to pick Swamp Thing, and I didn't want to just pick DC characters. So Man-Thing / Swamp Thing. We have Swamp Thing's first appearance. I don't think we have Man-Thing's first appearance.
No, I forget his line. Man-Thing's like, anything who fears burns at Man-Thing's touch or something like that. That's slightly different than that. I forget.
That's pretty cool.
That's a cool line. Except for if you're like afraid and like Man-Thing's like, how you doing? And, like you're incinerated. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, Man-Thing's cool. And Sir Chonk has Moon Knight.
Ooh, Moon Knight. I love creepy nighttime dudes. That's a Moon Knight deal. I love moons. The guy's got moon in his title. Very cool. He's got that great nighttime vibe. He's stronger at night, so most of his adventures take place at night. Pretty awesome. And he's got a bunch of cool weapons, and he's just a cool, vibey guy. I like his whole vibe. People don't write him that great, other than Dougie the Munch. But at the same time, I still really like Moon Knight, and I genuinely will try out every series, even when I become very disappointed.
And he's played by Oscar Isaac, who's super attractive.
I mean, I guess. Sure.
That's a selling point for me.
Anyway.
All right. So moving on to someone who's super cool and badass, also Marvel, is Gamora. We do have her first appearance, too. Yeah. Also green. I apparently have a thing for green people. My first 3 are green. And my next one is also kind of green. So I have a thing for green people, apparently.
Is it Kermit?
No.
Kermit's not your next
It's
guy?
Gamora. I don't like the Guardians movies. I think they're loud. I hate Star-Lord with a fiery passion. Mostly because I hate Chris Pratt with a fiery passion. You don't want to know why. Did you know he abandoned his cat? That's what I found out. Screw that guy. Anyway, so Gamora's cool. She's a badass. I like badass women. I actually really like the Guardians minus Star-Lord. There's just too much Star-Lord in the Guardians movies.
Yeah, Gamora's okay. I prefer Nebula.
Yeah, just because you think she's attractive.
She's also way angrier, and I like that. But yes, also way, way more attractive.
I mean, she doesn't do as much, although she's hilarious in the Christmas special.
You can't run from me, Bacon.
All right, so the next one up is Thor.
Oh, Thor, everybody knows who Thor is. I mean, come on. At this point, he's mega popular. I love the whole Norse mythology, and so I really like when the Thor comics bridge and focus a lot on the Norse stuff. It's still good when he ends up hanging around in New York or whatever. That's still fine. But Thor is at his best when he's smashing the crap out of giants and stuff and sailing on floating boats through space. Thor.
Okay, so I'm moving on to my next green person. He's not actually green, but it's Spectre. He has a cool green cape. I don't think we have his first. We don't have Thor's first appearance for sure.
I have his first Silver Age appearance.
Yeah, Spectre is cool. I have a thing for capes and green people is what we're learning here. Spectre kind of looks like Dr. Doom, but he's good and also not Dr. Doom. But he's cool and he's creepy and he's floating around being Spectre-y. I like the Justice League Dark guys.
I like Spectre. I like they had that series, short-lived, Gotham by Midnight, I think. Spectre was a character in that. That series was awesome.
Why didn't I read this?
Because you can't read. But it only lasted 12 or 13 issues. But that was pretty cool. So if you ever stumble upon that in your travels, that's a short series worth checking out.
Yeah, I really hope this Justice League Dark show ends up happening. Next for Sir Chunk is Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah, Hawkeye. One of the few heroes that, doesn't really have any powers, and, also his tech is not that great. He's I'll shoot arrows that do cool stuff. But somehow he still manages to be amazing. I also like Hawkeye because he, really was a good foil for, over-the-top goody-goody Captain America and a lot of, the Avengers I used to read a lot. So Captain America's let's do really good stuff. And Hawkeye's yes, but also let's beat somebody up. So it was, a nice combination. Hawkeye, a bit of a bastard, and I appreciate that about him.
All right, so number 6, I have Nightwing, who is basically the less cool Batman, but also kind of
not green.
No, not green, but
I have the first Hawkeye appearance also.
Oh yeah, do we have the first Nightwing? We do.
I have 2 of those.
Yeah. Nightwing is super cool. I love Batman, and Nightwing's basically like Batman, so, and he's cool. Yeah. He's cool. He's creepy. That show Titans was really good. I don't know why we stopped watching it. We got bored and then just forgot to keep watching it.
3 episodes, which I did like.
And they were really good. We should probably finish it.
Although the best part about Nightwing is, of course, Bitewing.
Oh, yeah. Bitewing is great in the new series. I'm so far behind. I think I'm a year behind.
Yeah, you're on issue 40. They're at 108.
All right. So your next person is Deadpool.
Ooh, I don't even feel like I need to talk about Deadpool anymore. I'm going to sound like one of those, poser guys who only listens to music on vinyl. But man, I liked Deadpool before he was cool, and now everybody and his mom, literally everybody's mom knows who Deadpool is now. So part of the allure is worn off because he's oversaturated. And the last couple series of Deadpool were kind of garbage. But I still like him as a character. I like the fourth wall breaking. I just like the general chaos, violence, and sarcasm. Very fun character.
Did you like that video game that you played of Deadpool?
Yeah, that was pretty decent. It was it was sort of short and not very good, but it had some funny parts in it.
And we have his first appearance too.
Yes.
This is just to collect with our comic book collection. The next one we do not have her first appearance. It's actually fairly new, but it's Yelena Belova. I just like her. She's hilarious. Obviously, I liked her in Black Widow, and I loved her in the Hawkeye series. She's just super funny, hanging out with Kate Bishop. It doesn't hurt that Florence Pugh is just really good actress, and I just think she plays her so fun. She's both a badass and cool, but also super funny, and it's kind of hard to pull that off without coming across as cheesy and silly. And she manages to both be intimidating and you'd be afraid of her, but also she's really funny.
Yeah, it'd be a real shame if she were to put me in a chokehold.
Oh, shut up. She's 12.
She's 30.
All right, well, she's not. She's 22.
Well, I withdraw the comment.
And your next one is Rogue, who we also have her first appearance.
Ooh, I love Rogue. Rogue, yeah. Always been one of my favorite characters since I started collecting comics. Fun fact, my friend, not a good reader, used to think her name was pronounced Raj. So he'd be like, I like that Raj person. We'd be like, who the hell are you talking about? Turns out he was talking about Rogue, not a strong reader. But yeah, anyway, Rogue, super cool. Took Miss Marvel, the old Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers' powers. Also just sucks powers about everybody. The only problem with Rogue is she's got terrible taste in men. Gambit sucks. She needs to ditch him and hang out with me.
He's just saying this because Anna Paquin played her in the movie like 30 years ago.
That's not... I liked Rogue before Anna Paquin played her.
But you didn't care who she dated until...
That's not exactly true. I do love Anna Paquin.
All right. So number 4 is Thing. I love Thing. I love the Fantastic Four. I don't even know why, because, like, a lot of the comics I just don't get into. Like, I try reading them, and I'm like, meh. Like, some of the old ones I do like. But Thing is so sad. His story is so sad. Like, he's just this, like, guy who's trying to do his thing, and then becomes literally a rock man that no one wants to talk to because he's a big, creepy rock guy. And it's just really tragic. And now he's, like, fine. Like, I think he's, like, married. He has, like, kids. Like, I don't know. Everything's totally cool in Thing world. But it's a kind of a tragic story. And it's interesting because, obviously, with the whole, Fantastic Four, he's kind of got the worst of it, and he still manages to be, like, the sort of nice one, except for when he's, like, full of rage.
Sometimes it's clobbering time. It brings up a lot how, like, yeah, it's not that rough for the other members of Fantastic Four who, when they don't want to, like, be superheroes, they can just dress normal and walk around. He's like, I'm always a pile of rocks.
Right. I think he's eventually, like, gets a way to, like, he can change back and forth.
Sometimes that happens. Like, in Secret Wars, he, like, transforms against his will. But he does date a blind girl, which tells you, what the situation has to be. He's a bit rocky.
It's a bit tough for him.
He has some rocky relationships.
We kind of have his first appearance. We have like one page of the first FF.
I don't think we can count that.
He's on it, though.
Yeah, it's true. So's Torch.
Yeah. All right, your next guy is Green Lantern. And you have many of his first appearances, not all of them.
I didn't even say which Green Lantern. There's so many Green Lanterns, and I like a lot of them. I don't know who my favorite switches from time to time. Usually it's between Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner, like two of the bigger, more popular.
I think Fillion's going to be Guy Gardner.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. But I love Green Lantern's powers. Like, I don't know, the ring has always struck me as super cool. I've always been like, that's amazing, the amount of things you can do. Very cool. I like the Hal Jordan, just like the overwhelming, like, willpower. He just refuses to quit, like, all the time. And then Guy Gardner's just kind of similar, but in a different sort of way. Like, he just, like, always a scrappy jerk, but I like him. So, yeah, big fan of Green Lanterns. I'm curious what's going to happen if they actually, like, put this show / movie together and see what happens, because it could be good, because Green Lantern's a fascinating sort of story. There's lots to do with it, but also I think they could easily, like, get sidetracked on nonsense. We also need to have Chip show up.
Well, you did have that Green Lantern movie a few years ago starring Deadpool.
No, we didn't. Purge that from your memory.
So the next one we do have is his first appearance, because Sir Chunk got it from you for Christmas, and this is Deadman. And Deadman is so cool as well. And I don't know why I like him either, but he's just really cool. Apparently I like just creepy, weird guys who don't talk much and circus guys. But Deadman, I really liked him in, and I can't remember, I think it was, what was that Batman series that he was in? That he played, like, he was in a lot.
I don't remember.
Like him and Demon and Spectre.
Yeah, I don't remember.
The one where you see, like, the Batwing. I think he was in that, Damned. And he was in something else. But I really started to like him a lot. And he's just, I don't know, he's just so cool. I like how he's, dead. And also sort of there, anyway. I just like these sort of weird superheroes. They're not really superheroes. They're just kind of like these fantasy characters almost, more than like they have superpowers. Like Deadman's superpower is that he's dead. So I guess that's his power. Nightwing doesn't really have powers. He just is an acrobat. So I think I have this thing for just weird characters, I guess.
Cool. I've read almost nothing with Deadman in it, so move on.
All right, so you have Black Knight next. We have one of his first appearances, many of him.
A character that pretty much nobody cares about except for me. Dane Whitman, the Black Knight. I don't care that Jon Snow be playing him for like 3.5 minutes. What I care about is This character's been around for a while. I've always liked him. I love when he shows up. He seems to always get caught up in some of my favorite Avengers runs, some of my favorite Avengers teams. He's in the Olympus thing. He's in the Masters of the Evil thing. He's in I forget the death. That's not called the Death of the Avengers. Whatever, where they all get killed off. He's in so many great parts. He's a good leader. I don't like when he does the goofy Electro sword. I like when he's got like the actual ebony blade, where like he tries not to kill people, but he's gonna. Anyway, yeah, Black Knight.
All right, so for number 2, Sir Chung and I decided that we weren't going to have repeats and that there are certain characters we would give to each other. And so 2 would obviously have made his list as well. And this is Batman. We do not have his first appearance because we are not rich. And nobody has his first appearance unless they are wealthy. You can argue if you want, but you are wealthy if you have his first appearance. Batman is cool. Batman is the coolest. Second coolest for me, but he's up there, right? Like, I mean, who doesn't love Batman? Again, doesn't really have superpowers. I don't think too many of my guys have superpowers. His superpower is he's insanely rich, so he also has Batman's first appearance, I guess.
I mean, he's also a super genius.
So right, and he's like
much like Wile E. Coyote.
Really well trained.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to say anything about Batman. You know about Batman. He's awesome. He's got like the coolest, most eerie vibe that there exists. Awesome. Just what you want. We
also don't have Sir Chug's number 2, which is Spider-Man.
What do you mean we don't? Oh, we don't hold that appearance? Yeah. Eventually. Okay, probably no. Probably never. But yep, Spider-Man. Everybody also, no need to talk much about Spider-Man. Like, the appeal of Spider-Man is he's like a regular dude that suddenly has powers, and he's like, oh, I gotta save the world. Also, I gotta get a hat for my aunt.
You always talk about how many times has he bought hats for Aunt May?
Constantly.
The third time.
That hoe goes through hats like you cannot believe. She always be like, it's a bit cold out. I wish I had some additional hats. Has he ever
bought Aunt May a hat?
He has. There's a whole issue where he's like trying to escape from these vulture guys while saving the hat. It's a true story. Yeah, and also she's always like, oh, I'm dying of like another operation. She's like, we're so poor. Yeah, because Aunt May gotta have an operation every 2 months. Just put a bullet in her and be done with it.
Or maybe he should have like got another spider to save her.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wish Aunt May would die already. Again. After
Poor Aunt May.
She already died once. And they're like, oh, let's bring her back. Who brings back Aunt May? She's
Did
like
you
90.
Cry in the
No,
movie?
I was like, good. I hope she dead.
Spoiler, Aunt May's dead.
Screw Aunt May.
All right, so my number 1, and we do have his first appearance because, again, Sir Chung bought this one for me.
It's Aunt May. Oh, no.
It's not Aunt May. She's not a superhero. Is John Constantine, who is the coolest character in the history of comic books. And if you disagree, I don't care, you're wrong. Constantine is so cool. He has a trench coat, and he can make fire, and he is a magician who walks through, like, worlds and can, like, communicate with the dead, and he's just awesome, and he's snarky, and he's British, and everything about him is amazing, except for the movie. Sorry, Keanu. I love Keanu Reeves, but I don't want another of that movie, because that movie was not like Constantine. I first saw Constantine in Sandman. Most of these I saw in Sandman the first time, and I have loved him since. Everything with Constantine, I just love him. If he shows up, I want to read it. I just want to hang out with Constantine. He is cool. Again, he's British. What else do I need? He's British and cool and has a trench coat and fire.
I like him in John Wick.
That's Keanu, not Constantine.
Oh, he's pretty good.
Have you even read a thing with Constantine in it?
He's pretty good in Bill and Ted also.
Have you read a book with Constantine?
Yeah, I think I read something.
You read some Justice League Dark.
Is he in 1602 or whatever he's in that?
No, that's Marvel.
What the hell is he in? I read something with him and bumping around, doing some. He's in some limited series.
He was in Justice League Dark.
Yeah, I know, but he's in other stuff. I've definitely read stuff with him in it.
Or whatever that thing we read was.
I was just like, listen, Constantine, go make another John Wick and stop wasting your time.
What was the thing with Justice League Dark when they were like, remember? And they were like fighting with the gods. You read the series too? It was like 2 summers ago.
I don't know. Justice League Poop Sandwich.
No.
That wasn't it?
No, it was like the dark world of...
Great. Can we edit this out? Because this is just rambling now.
Anyway, no. And your number 1, who you have all 3 or 4 or 5 of his first appearances.
Who? Oh, Wolverine. She's making these claw motions at me to remind me that I'm Wolverine. Yeah.
You don't know who your first top
Well, I don't remember who I put on what list or whatever. Yeah, Wolverine's awesome. Another guy that, like, pretty much, I mean, everybody thinks, when I was, like, a little dude, like, everybody thought Wolverine was, like, their favorite character. Because he's, like, a hero who also murders the crap out of people. It's the best of both worlds. Who doesn't want a guy who's like, I'm a hero, as he's, like, murdering people that you hate?
Constantine.
Anyway, Wolverine's not in any John Wick movies, unfortunately. But other than that, yeah, he's great. Just a ferocious, undersized little dude who just loves murder.
And he's Canadian.
I don't like when they sort of like try to tone him down too much, which happens a lot. I much prefer when like, okay, let's just unleash him onto the world. Of course, the classic Wolverine limited series, the Frank Miller one, is unbelievable. If you never read that, it's one of the best limited series you're ever going to see.
You must be very excited about Deadpool 3 since it's going to have Deadpool and Wolverine in it.
Yeah, I have minimal excitement. We'll see what happens. But anyway, yeah, I love Wolverine. If a bad guy's like, you're not so tough, and you're going to embed your claws in that guy's neck and then walk away, I feel like that's a good hero to as a role model.
Did you read that Fantastic Four that had like Spider-Man and Wolverine and like
and
Ghost
Hulk and Ghost
Rider?
Rider? Yeah, of course. Of course. I bought that off the rack. They were like, hey, here's some marketing. Here's our 4 most popular characters jammed together. And I was like, I'll eat that crap up. It wasn't very good, but I still read it.
I feel like Ghost Rider's like what Constantine is, but Constantine's cooler, even though Ghost Rider was first.
John Wick on a motorcycle?
Constantine's so cool.
He's almost as cool as John Wick. But he's not.
Anyway, those are some of our favorite superheroes. Do we leave anybody off? Are you mad that we left off Superman? We don't like Superman.
That's stupid. Some of my favorite characters weren't on this list, though. We have, like, that secondary list, right? That has, like, other people.
Yeah, you had Iron Man, then you went back and forth on him.
Yeah, anyway, regardless.
This is superheroes, not comic characters. We have a whole list. Maybe we'll record that soon. Ooh, I know you're excited. Bye.